And arguably, Paul Ryan is a better communicator than John Boehner, so maybe that will help in the court of public opinion for a lot of these partisan issues.
Oh, yes.
Now, based off of the GOP debate last night and then the Democratic debate a couple weeks ago, how do you think Paul Ryan will balance a relationship with an incoming president next year versus this year when he's going to be dealing with far-left Barack Obama?
Well, you know, if you're, not to be too cynical, if you're Paul Ryan, if you're a young Republican speaker, obviously you want a Democratic president so you can be head of the party. If you have a Republican president, you become a foot soldier for that president. So, you know, you don't want that. Let's face it. But I think he'll be effective either way. I'm not endorsing anyone. I do think we're going to see President Trump. I really believe that. So that's not an endorsement, but it's a prediction. And I think you're going to see Trump. I think Trump will bring enough Democratic states into play, places like Michigan and Pennsylvania. I think he'll be the nominee, and I think he'll win.
Yeah, let's touch on the GOP debate last night a little bit. So you're not endorsing Trump, but would you say that he was the clear winner in last night's debate? Because I thought Marco Rubio and Ted Cruz really stepped up and did pretty well last night.
Yeah, Trump is dialing it down. He's beginning the process of becoming a real candidate. He's deliberately dialing it down. He's taking his advisors. He has a great team, and he's taking their advice, and he's starting to dial it down. He and Ben Carson are the leaders, so they don't really need to go out on a limb and say a whole lot. They played it safe. The others need to throw the ball deep. I actually thought Chris Christie was the real winner. I'll give you something about Rubio. Marco Rubio in so many ways is the perfect guy, but the problem is he comes across as the man of the future, not the man of the present. And the other problem he has is he's so serious, he's so earnest. It's just he's got to have some levity in his being. He's showing himself just incapable of levity. And I'll tell you something else. This, again, not to be just too cynical about things. The optics of it, he should not have positioned... Marco Rubio is a short guy, he's a little guy. He shouldn't have positioned himself between two tall guys, Bush, who's very tall, and Trump, who's over 6 foot, because you see, and particularly women see how short Rubio is. That was a bad move. His advisors should have known to watch out for that.
I don't know that that was
Short is no good when you run for president.
I don't know if that was his choice, though. I think they ordered him in where they came in the polls. Although it is an interesting point. I noticed that myself watching it last night. Did you think there were any clear losers? Anybody you expect to drop out after last night's performance?
Well, I think everybody on that stage, with the possible exception of Rand Paul, but I think everybody on that stage is in it for the long haul at this point. Chris Christie, I thought Chris Christie was a clear winner of the debate. I mean, the exchange with John Harwood was masterful. His home run of the night was the fantasy football thing, which was pitched to Jeb Bush. Jeb Bush should have done what Christie did with it. Instead, Jeb Bush took it seriously. Christie hit it out of the park. Bush is just showing himself to be really incapable. He's a guy who just doesn't get it. I think the big losers last night were Jeb Bush and Carly Fiorina. Carly Fiorina came across as kind of the whiny woman. She did so well in the previous debates, but in this one, she really was constantly trying to get in and butt in. I think she looked bad.
Yeah, I was a little underwhelmed by Carly Fiorina myself. I've always been Team Carly. I've been on her team from the get-go, but I was a little underwhelmed by her performance last night. I was hoping for one of her other moments like the previous debates where she just wowed everybody and silenced it. I thought the winner last night was a tie between Cruz and Rubio. I think the way they took on those moderators, the way that they just said it how it was, called out that liberal bias, I think that gives them a huge boost. And for Rubio, maybe it was even his breakout moment. He may be solidly in the top 3 from here on out. But Jack, thank you for joining me tonight.